Hi, I'm Mike Monahan, the director of GLSP's Pro Bono Resource Center. We are a team of advocates across the state who focus on the pro bono essentials of recruitment, retention, and recognition of volunteer lawyers, law students, and other professionals. Our pro bono team advocates supplement the work of our staff advocates, bringing in new resources and approaches to civil legal services. Our pro bono team connects volunteers to clients in our 154 county service territory. Challenges? Yes. About 70% of low-income Georgians live in our service territory, and about 70% of the state's lawyers are not in our service territory. That leaves us with a mission of bringing Atlanta lawyers into rural and small city Georgia. For many years, the bulk of our pro bono activity has been managed within each of our local field offices. In each of these offices, we have a dedicated pro bono coordinator who places the cases and provides support and materials to volunteers. We match one client with one lawyer. At the local field office level, we also have involved volunteer lawyers in larger impact efforts like disaster legal assistance after a hurricane or tornado, and government benefits advocacy. Our rural and small city volunteer lawyers frequently travel to neighboring counties to meet with clients and attend hearings. In 2019, we began what is an ongoing pro bono transformation, better integration of our pro bono efforts into GLSP's legal services delivery system, enhanced staffing, the addition of signature projects program-wide, and the adoption of a statewide pro bono team approach in which all the pro bono staff members are united and share pro bono goals and methods. Our developing signature projects are aimed squarely at courting the pro bono interests of the large law firm and corporate counsel programs found in Atlanta. Each signature project is headed by one of our pro bono team's lawyers, and each focuses on a very specific area: tenant protection, consumer law, military and veterans legal issues, disaster law, and records restriction work, also known as expungements. In each signature project, volunteer lawyers will find training, forms, pleadings, outlines, and available brief services or advice cases, all supported by a knowledgeable GLSP attorney. Ashley Clark will tell you more later in this presentation. Our transformation will keep the best of local efforts to match volunteers and clients on GLSP priority cases that will be heard in court or before administrative forums, and add in advice and brief services casework, also known as limited scope work, using Atlanta-based lawyers. Our pro bono team will continue our long-standing efforts in providing free or at-cost continuing legal education training for our volunteers, attending and supporting local bar association pro bono programming, and highlighting the great work that our volunteers do for our clients. The State Bar of Georgia has been a valued partner in pro bono since the 1980s. Each year, the State Bar provides us with financial and moral support to reach into rural areas of Georgia to increase pro bono participation and access to justice. We are a charter member of the Bar's Do Justice, Do 50 campaign. The Federal Legal Services Corporation, our major funder and partner in providing access to justice, has awarded us a special pro bono grant. We are using this special pro bono grant to focus on a narrower part of our overall transformation. You'll hear from Alexeichenbaum in just a few minutes about this work. We are reviewing our online support tools and our communications to better serve our volunteers. Look for future updates. Here's how you contact me. And now, I'll turn it over to Heidi to show you some of our newest technology. Heidi, tell us more.
Hi, Mike. Hi, everyone. I'm Heidi Behnke, GLSP's Program Manager. I'm one of the many people helping strategically transform our pro bono program. Under our Pro Bono Innovation Fund project, I led the design and distribution of an assessment to evaluate our partnership, communication, and case management practices. While I love a good survey and spreadsheet, the change doesn't stop there. GLSP's Pro Bono program has been working hard to build and redesign new technologies to support our volunteers, especially in recruitment and training. In 2019, we received a technology innovation grant from these guys to try something completely new. We are designing a learning management system, or LMS, to host a more interactive training platform. Learning.glsp.org is a new way for both interested and active volunteers to learn more about our program and access new training materials. To access the site for the first time, simply type the address into your browser, learning.glsp.org. Select your user type as Pro Bono Volunteer and enter your information. You should receive an email to confirm your account status. When you first enter the site, you'll be taken directly to the Learning page. It looks a little sparse now, but we soon hope to fill it with all sorts of trainings about our programs, volunteer opportunities, CLEs, and more. The dashboard page provides contact information for all members of GLSP's Pro Bono team. You can email them with questions about their regional office or special projects. If you're interested in signing up, you can also take this survey. One of our team will contact you and will work hard to get you helping with cases, clinics, and/or other projects across the state in no time. The reports page allows you to check the status of your course completion. It may take up to 24 hours to show the completion of recent work. Let's go back to the Learning page. Oh, I think Ashley has uploaded something new about our signature projects. Let's go see what she's up to.
Thanks, Heidi. Hi, I'm Ashley Clark, GLSP's Pro Bono Housing Development Attorney. I oversee our Pro Bono Housing Signature Project. I can't begin to stress the importance of pro bono work to the legal community. As attorneys, we all swear an oath not just to practice the law, but we pledge to be gladiators of justice and defenders of the underserved. However, there is a severe shortage of attorneys in rural communities throughout Georgia. Even before the COVID-19 pandemic swept the nation, GLSP attorneys work tirelessly to represent individuals and families at risk of homelessness. Recent studies show that an estimated 7.4 million adults are currently facing eviction. Women, communities of color, and low-income communities are evicted at a higher rate than the rest of the population. To tackle this crisis, legal aid organizations, state and local governments, and the federal government have examined eviction prevention measures to aid those without stable housing. GLSP's Pro Bono program has responded to this call to action by recruiting attorneys from the private bar from all over the state to provide legal assistance to tenants. Through our Housing Signature Project, volunteer attorneys explain applicable laws and defenses to tenants, assist tenants in drafting pleadings and preparing for court, negotiate with landlords and draft settlement agreements, identify cases of landlord misconduct, and advise tenants on how to avoid eviction. As Mike mentioned, our Housing Signature Project is one of several signature projects within the Pro Bono program. We have a records restriction project, which helps qualified clients clean up their criminal records by correcting errors on their records, restricting public access to eligible records, sealing certain court records, and restricting access to their jail and prison records. The Military and Veterans Legal Assistance Project provides legal assistance to service members and veterans with issues related to deployment, financial hardships, service-related disabilities, and other VA benefits. Our Consumer Benefits Project assists consumers with collection issues, including the initial debt collection stage and post-judgment remedies. The focus of our signature project work aligns with our mission to provide access to justice and opportunities out of poverty for low-income Georgians. We refer cases to volunteer attorneys for direct and remote representation. Volunteer attorneys can also work side by side with GLSP attorneys at legal clinics across the state. These attorneys make it possible for GLSP to assist vulnerable communities who would otherwise fall through the justice gaps. Now let's hear from Alex about how our work impacts communities.
I'm Alexeichenbaum, GLSP's Director of Pro Bono Innovation. It's my job to find new and innovative ways that GLSP can provide pro bono services to low-income Georgians around the state. With that goal in mind, GLSP recently joined forces with the Carter Plains Foundation to host a virtual wills and estate planning clinic in Plains, Georgia. Founded in 2020, the Carter Plains Foundation is an organization set up by Chip Carter, son of President and Mrs. Carter, to provide essential funding for services to underserved members of their hometown community. The Carter Plains Foundation is currently in the process of rehabilitating 23 homes, with the hope of identifying and rehabilitating more in the area. The organization is not only committed to renovating substandard housing, but also to providing services to help end the cycle of poverty. As part of this effort, GLSP and the Carter Plains Foundation wanted to provide wills for these homeowners in order to preserve these soon-to-be rehabbed properties. This kind of estate planning can build generational wealth through securing and preserving these homes and investments. However, Plains, Georgia is what we call a legal desert, an area in which there are no practicing attorneys. Given the lack of attorneys, GLSP worked to recruit pro bono volunteers from around the state to draft wills, financial powers of attorney, and advanced directives for healthcare for the folks in Plains. On June 26, GLSP staff traveled to Plains, where each client met with their pro bono attorney via Zoom. The attorneys reviewed the wills with clients on camera, and GLSP staff was on site to assist with executing and finalizing all of the documents. This model allowed for clients to meet and speak with attorneys based all over, from Cartersville, Atlanta, Springfield, Albany, and Macon, something they would have never had the opportunity to do before. For the volunteer attorneys, they were able to make a huge difference in the lives of these clients whose paths they never would have crossed. And the community in Plains is stronger for it. We hope you will join us in supporting GLSP in this important work we are doing throughout the state.
Thanks, Heidi, Alex, and Ashley. Now that you've heard our story, it's time to start your story. I ask you to recommit as a volunteer or sign up with us if you haven't volunteered. Visit glsp.org, and thanks.